everyone, welcome in. I'm Donna from Dinners with Donna, and today we're doing something a little bit different. As you guys mostly know, I auction off my cookie boxes for Magical Night of Hope that benefit Give Kids a World every year. So my good friend Lisa from It's Joey's World, as well as my family, said, why don't you vlog this so people see what goes into this? And also, you can see how much work goes into it, and the expense that I put into the ingredients and the shipping, so that when you say, wow, her cookies went for over $150, what's going on, you'll know why. So I will start off by saying I plan on making this is going to be a vlog because I've got to stop in between certain sections, because if I did it live it would take 2 days. I'm cooking over 2 days for this, and I'm making I think 10 or 11 cookies and candies. So it's going to be quite intensive labor-wise for me. And it is December 21st today. So we are 4 days away from Christmas, and I'm trying to get the cookies mailed out on Monday the 23rd. Fingers crossed. So hopefully everything goes well. So I will start off by saying that I paid over $180 for the ingredients for the cookies. So that's where we're starting off with. And our first cookie that we're making is an Italian egg biscuit. I make these every year, and they're like a round kind of sugar cookie that's lemon flavored, and then you frost them and put nonpareils on them. But yeah, we're starting off. And we've got, let me go grab my iPad because it has my recipe on it. Oh, and I've got my new reading glasses so I can see what I'm doing over here. So, let's see what we've got here. My trusty iPad, I've got my recipe on it. And it says, Italian Egg Biscuits Christmas Cookie Recipe. Make 72 cookies. We have for the cookie dough, 6 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of granulated sugar, 3 tablespoons of baking powder, not baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, 6 large eggs, 4 tablespoons of lemon extract, lemon extract, a cup of canola oil, so no butter in this, it's got canola oil, and 1/2 cup of whole milk. I will be using 2% milk. And then for the icing, we have confectioners sugar, more lemon extracts, a little bit of milk or cream, and the colored candy sprinkles, of course. Okay, so I measured out my 6 cups of flour, preheated my oven to 300, it says 325. I'm doing my oven runs a little cold, so I'm doing it at 350. I've got 2 baking sheets that are parchment lined. So, here we go. It says preheat oven at 325. I did mine at 350 degrees. And position the rack to the center of the oven and line cookie sheets with parchment paper. Then in a large bowl, we're gonna mix the flour. Flour's right here. Then I'm gonna get the sugar, baking powder, and salt. So we need, let's see, go back up here. We need 1.5 cups of sugar, which is over here. My kitchen's all just combobulated because I have ingredients all over the kitchen. I have cooling racks and my table's covered in wax paper in the dining room for this. So, okay, so we need 1.5 cups sugar. And this is terrible. If anyone knows of durable measuring cups, because look at this, guys. I just got these, they're brand new, they're metal, they're supposed to be sturdy, and I did that. So, not really sturdy, so I'm not that strong, for goodness sakes. Okay, so 1.5 cups, and I'm eyeballing because I've done this in a lot. Okay, it's the half of the one. And then we need, I think it said 3 tablespoons of baking powder. My tablespoons I didn't take out yet. This is the first cookie. I'm looking for another tablespoon. Well, maybe I'll find that later. Baking powder is over here. Baking powder, 3 tablespoons. I'm gonna put the cover on the flour. One Make sure they're level. 2 and 3. And make sure you have good fresh baking powder, or it's not, you're not gonna get leavened cookies. They won't rise. They'll be pancakes, and that will be sad. So don't do that. And then we're gonna need a teaspoon of salt. Salt. Okay. There we go, the salt. Now, let's see. So it says to mix it. I'm just gonna use my trusty, my whisk. And I'm gonna whisk everything that we did together. And now it says, in a small bowl, combine eggs, lemon extract, oil, and milk. So I'll get another bowl. For this, I'm gonna use, I will use eggs. 6 eggs. Let's see. In a bowl, we're gonna put the 6 eggs, 4 tablespoons of lemon extract, and a cup of canola oil and milk. Half a cup. So here we go. 1. 2. 3. And move this out of the way. 4. Didn't want to break. 5. Oh, and I see a piece of shell. I'll get out of there. Don't want shell in your cookies. There we go. Because that one egg didn't want to break. And 6. Oh wait, is that a shell? Yep, little shell. You can see got the shell out. And this is the 6th egg. There we go. Good to go. Wash your hands. Wash your hands, wash your hands. Okay, 6 eggs, 4 tablespoons of lemon extract, which is over here. One, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to need the rest for the icing. That we'll save that for later. And then 1 cup of canola oil. Half a cup of milk. I'll get all the oil out. All right. Half a cup of milk. All right. And now we're going to whisk this mixture up, and I'll show you what it looks like in a second. Alright. Luckily, we have more than one whisk in this house. So here's all our wet ingredients. And so we can't do multi-camera angles when we're doing a vlog, so you're going to have to bear with me. Okay, we're going to whisk, 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 whisk. And then we're going to add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. which makes sense, right? And keep whisking until we see the eggs all incorporated. And this is why they're called egg biscuits, because there's 6 eggs in here. And get a good handle on it here. Yeah, that looks good. So now we've got, oops, that. It's all, you can see, all mixed in. Okay, so I'm gonna move these eggs now and get where the shells went. Now we add the wet ingredients to the dry ingredients. Let's see. Using a rubber spatula, and mix until a dough starts to form, and then we're going to use our hand to knead them. And it says if it seems a little dry, add a teaspoon of milk at a time until it reaches its desired consistency. This is going to be our flour whisk. Remember, because of the color at the bottom. This is going to be our wet ingredients whisk. With the black, I don't know what those are called, but the little whiskey things. The whisk thing. Okay. Here we go. So we have our dry, we have our wet. We're going to pour the wet into the dry, and with my rubber spatula, and then I will put gloves on my hands because you guys know all about food safety. All right. I'm gonna do this gingerly, and make sure your bowl is big enough for all of these ingredients, because if it's not, you're gonna have a really hard time with this. So let's see. We're gonna whisk, or not whisk, stir, kind of fold it until the big, bunches of flour get moist with the wet ingredients so that we can work it a little bit better. I don't think I'm gonna need more milk because we live in Florida, it's very humid here. And then it says, yeah, to knead it with our hands, which we will in a minute. But I want to get it and incorporate it if I can. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna get my gloves so I can scrape off also the spatula because it's got stuff on it and I don't want to waste it. Okay, so I got my gloves. We're gonna knead the dough. And then we'll scoop. Pretty easy recipe, really. What takes a long time with this one is the baking and waiting and then icing and then drying. So, but while they're doing that, we'll make another cookie. Oh, this smells very lemony. I hope the cookie recipients like lemon. Okay. Yeah, this is just right. This is not going to need any more milk or flour or any of that. And it's more like a dough than a batter. I'll show you. Okay. It's really nice, and the oil makes it like a smooth little dough. Just going to incorporate the last bit of flour there. That looks good. So here's what we have. And now I'm gonna get my cookie sheets and scoop. So we have our tablespoon cookie scooper. I've got 2 cookie sheets ready to go, lined with parchment. And all we're gonna do is scoop. So let me see. I don't know if I can make it so that you guys can see me scooping. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, so sorry guys, here we go. We're gonna just scoop like this. I'll do 1 tray for you, and then I'm gonna pause the video and get the other tray and get that done, because that's just boring and repetitive. Here we go. And it says to do it like that. I don't know. I might round them up after with my gloved hands. And I'm not sure what this music is that Richard found. It must be copyright free, but it's interesting. So enjoy. And this one looks a lot bigger than the other ones. I don't know why. Got like extra. It's no, and oh no, it's turning into karaoke night. Sorry guys. I caught myself right when I started. Okay. All right, so there's 1 tray. And I'm gonna go do another tray and keep going until we get the cookies all ready to go in the oven. And then I will be back, guys. So take a little break. Hi, everybody. So, okay, I've got the cookies all nice, and you see I got my gloves on because I rolled them out so they're a little bit more nice and round. We're gonna put them in the preheated, I did 350-degree oven for, can you scroll that up for me, Richard? For 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm gonna also prepare another tray or 2 of cookies to go in the oven. Same kind, so same, you know, keep repeating. Parchment lined baking sheets, roll, scoop out, roll with your hands to make them nice and pretty. And then we will bake those as well. So I will be back when they are finished baking, and I'll show you what they look like when they come out of the oven. Okay guys, so we got the first batch out of the oven. I want to show you what they look like. They're a little hot, so the bottom should look like this. This is the top. We're gonna let these cool a minute or so on this rack. It's really hot. And then we're gonna move them to a cooling rack. And then later, after they're completely cooled, we will frost them and then sprinkle them with Christmas sprinkles. So we're gonna keep baking, and we will be back when they're done. All right, see you guys. Hi everybody, so now we're back and we're making the Italian wedding cookies. Now I'm just gonna say, these were not cheap. I had to spend $10 just on the pistachios. We need to get 2 cups of ground pistachios, which is approximately 4 cups of shelled pistachios. Now, unfortunately, like I said, it's through, the 21st. So 4 days before Christmas, I needed pistachios for this recipe. I ordered shelled pistachios, and they sent me pistachios in the shell. So Richard and I just spent the last half hour shelling the pistachios. So first of all, I just want to say to all the people who bid on my cookies, you guys are amazing, and I can't thank you enough. But I'm doing this not just to, I'm not complaining or anything, but I just want you all to know what goes into this, because everyone's like, oh yeah, the cookies. And it's like, you know, I put a lot into it, and I just want you to know what exactly you're getting too. So I've got it's stuck to the counter. My food processor, I got I think it's gonna be about, well, we didn't get to 4 cups. We were supposed to get 4 cups of shelled nuts. We got about 3.5. So I'm gonna grind them now and see how many we got out of that $10 of pistachios in the shell. So here we go. another thing too. Italian wedding cookies. So those are like Russian tea cakes, Mexican wedding cookies. It's pretty much the same thing. They're like nut based, and then the finished cookie after you bake them is coated in powdered sugar. So kind of, they call them snowball cookies. My recipe for this is Italian wedding cookie, Russian tea cakes, Mexican wedding cookies. It's all kind of the same thing. And sometimes they use different nuts as well. So let me see, that looks pretty brown. No, it doesn't. We need to do a little bit more. All right. You need them that's really fine to make almost like their own flour. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more. Just want to reach in here. I don't want to hurt my hands, but that's what we're kind of looking for, but it's still a little coarse, so I'm just going to keep going. I think we're good now. Yeah. All right, so we've ground. I'm going to take the blade out so we don't hurt ourselves. And then we'll measure and see if we got 2 cups, and I'll put them in this bowl for our recipe for the Italian wedding cookies. Okay. Okay, we got 1 cup here. It's almost full. Oh, and then the almost full was kind of the overflow. Yep, we got just about 2 cups, so we got just what we needed. So yay, we don't have to go back to the store and buy the Christmas crowd. So yay on that. But yeah, here's what our pistachios look like, and they'll be the base for the Italian wedding cookie, and we'll be back making those in just a little bit. Our egg biscuits are still in the oven, so I figured I'd get a jump start on the next cookie, which will be the Italian wedding cookies. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, so our next cookie is the Italian wedding cookies, and let me go over what we need. The ingredients are 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 cups of finely ground pistachio nuts or almonds if you'd like, 2 cups of powdered sugar divided, because you coat them in sugar, so half's going into the batter and half is going on top of them. And then a tablespoon of vanilla extract, a teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 cups of butter, and that's 3 sticks. So we've preheated the oven at 350 because we still have our egg biscuits going. And then we ground our nuts. I showed you that earlier. I'll show them again. There's our nuts, finely ground pistachios. So now it says, my stand mixer. We got the stand mixer. In the stand mixer, add the flour. We're going to do it in the order they tell us to, which is 3 cups. So, where'd my spatula go? Because I scoop and then I level. That's how you measure your flour. So we're going to scoop. I really need some more durable. These were recommended by America's Test Kitchen, but they still bend. I showed you guys. That's crazy. So I have 1. I have a 2. Once I get it in there. More in. Yep, 2. And I got my flour container here. Scoop, and then they call it scoop and sweep, or scoop and level. So basically you scoop it out, and then you use your spatula, level it off, and you have a perfect cup. So that's our 3 cups of flour. Okay, so let's see, stand mixer. the flour, which we just did, the nuts. We're all a little nutty here, Richard. Say hi to the people, Richard.
Hi, people.
Just so they know I'm not talking to air. Okay. And a cup of the powdered sugar, that's right here. Okay. I'm going to need to fill that back up, and I'm going to need to fill my flour container after this. But we are almost out. Okay. 1 cup of the powdered sugar, the vanilla, and the salt. And then add the butter. So we need a teaspoon of our salt. And I have my salt container right here. So I keep my salt in. So 1 teaspoon going in. Tablespoon of vanilla. You guys know I eyeball that. Oh. The little thing from inside the cap came off. Like, why isn't it pouring? Okay. And I got vanilla extract on my hand. Okay. So we're going to put it on low so we don't have an explosion. That's looking pretty good. Until it's well incorporated. I don't know if I can show you. Let me see. I'm going to take you guys on a walk. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. I never claimed I was a good producer or anything like that. I just cook. Okay, so that's what it looks like now. Now we're going to add the butter. And I'm going to add it 1 stick at a time. So you have 1 stick of butter. We'll do it 1 stick at a time because we got 3 sticks to incorporate here. Oh. Oh. Oh, it's making a mess, and that's on the lowest speed. Oh my goodness. And this is why we do 1 stick at a time, so it doesn't fly everywhere. Wow. I'm just gonna let it keep going until it like calms down and is incorporated, because it started by like spitting little bits of flour everywhere. We don't need that. I got most of it back in the bowl. It just went on the edges of the bowl, but then it throws your measurements off. So, all right. Now I'm going to do the next stick. Butter. Oops, there we go. Okay, I was making sure it's locked. And then I'm going to unlock it actually and kind of push that down. There. Now I'm going to lock it and it's going to get more dough-like with each stick of butter we add. Right now it's kind of a crumbly mess because it's incorporating the butter. And you just gotta, you know, keep an eye on it. I keep out, my hands are out. That's what they look like. Because I'm kind of covering the bowl so nothing goes exploding all over the kitchen. All right. And if I'm looking down, it's not because I don't want to look at you guys. It's because I'm keeping an eye on the batter, cookie dough, cookie batter. I guess it's more like a dough. Now, I don't know if you can, oh, that's what, that's what it's looking like now. That was just a little few crumbs. It just, there wasn't anything bad that fell in. It fell on top of the flour container. So here we go. Last stick of butter going in. And then we'll see what our dough looks like here. I'm pushing that down into the bowl because I don't want things flying everywhere. Okay. And I'm gonna wash my hands just really fast because I got a little bit of dough and stuff on them. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this last stick of butter is really helping to make it more of a dough. It's liking that next stick of butter. And some of it's sticking to the beater. If it doesn't move on its own in a minute, I'm going to push it down on my own. Yeah, there we go. There we go. You want to get the butter well incorporated. You don't want chunks of butter just laying there. That won't help the cookie any. Now it's looking much more like a dough. When you see when I have it, when it's done, you'll see it's much better. I'll turn it up a little bit. Not that much. It was going to start flying. It's because the bowl is really full. I have a 5.5 quart stand mixer, but this is making a lot of batter. I didn't double the recipe or anything. That's just how it is. I'm waiting for that butter till I don't see like big, you know, globs of butter. I want it all incorporated into a dough. And I think we're there. So I'm just going to take a little bit out here. And my hands are clean, guys. I just washed them, just so you know. And so here, see, it's a dough. It was really powdery before, and now it's a dough. So we're gonna make these into cookies and put them on our line sheets. I'm going to wash my hands. I'm gonna put some gloves on because I'm gonna scoop them out like I did with the egg biscuits, but then I'm going to roll them with my hands so they get round. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I've got the dough here, and see, here's what we've made, a little ball. So I'm just gonna make a tray of them, and then we will pause again, and I'll make another tray, because you don't need to watch me make a million of these. So it's like a nice golf ball size. I'm thinking this is gonna be easier than scooping, and because that's 2 steps, scooping, and then I know the measure. That was Richard.
Oops.
Oh boy. I was trying to figure out how far apart to space them, because you don't want to have them mushing into each other. So 2 inches apart, about golf ball size balls. This is going a lot faster than scooping and then rolling. Because I've got the feel. When you've done this enough, you know what the feeling is when you have enough or not enough dough. So I'm just going to get 1 tray done for you guys, and then we'll put them in the oven. They're going to bake at, it says 325, again I'm doing 350 for again about 15 to 20 minutes, just like our egg biscuits. And then when these come out of the oven, you let them cool 2 to 3 minutes, and then we're going to roll them in some confectioner's sugar, aka powdered sugar. And you know, you can measure them by weight if you want to. I don't know. I never do that. I just kind of guesstimate. So some are going to be a little bigger, some will be just a tad smaller. I try to make them all uniform, but they're pretty close, I think. I'll get one more row on here. And then we'll pause briefly while we do the other tray. Ooh, cookie dough's fine. There we go. Okay guys, so there's one full tray of the pistachio Italian wedding cookies. I'm going to make another tray, then we'll pop them in the 350-degree oven for 15 to 20 minutes, and we'll be back. Hi everyone, so okay, we're back and we've got our Italian wedding cookies out of the oven. Look how nice they are on the bottom, and I just broke it. But we're going to gently put powdered sugar on them, roll them in the powdered sugar. And this one will be our taste tester, but you've got to be careful because they've just come out of the oven and you're only supposed to let them cool 2 to 3 minutes before you put the powdered sugar on, it says. So that's what we're doing, and I'm trying to generously coat with the powdered sugar. I'm going to put them back on the cookie sheet. It says to roll them, but I'm afraid to roll them because I tried to roll that first one and it just kind of fell apart. So I'll just go like that. Make it snow on top of them. Okay, and we're just going to continue this with the rest of this tray, and we'll do the same with the next 2 trays that are coming out of the oven. So you just have an idea of what you're looking at here. Make them pretty, right? So, Italian wedding cookies. Hi everyone, and welcome back. We're on our next cookie, which is, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but it's a rainbow cookie. It's an Italian rainbow cookie. It's traditional. It has the colors of the Italian flag in it, red, white, and green. And each layer is sandwiched with some jam. Today I'm going to be using, I think, strawberry or apricot. I'm going to see what I have in my pantry. And then you top it with a layer of chocolate ganache and cut it into nice little squares, and they're beautiful. It's a little bit tricky recipe, but I've made them before. So we're gonna do this together. We're gonna be in this together. Now, I will say the recipe I'm using says to use 3 11 by 7 inch pans, and I don't have 3 11 by 7 inch pans, so I'm using 13 by 9 by 2. And if that music's too loud, guys, sorry about that. It sounds really loud. So I'm gonna get my
song.
I'm gonna get my gloves on, and then what we're gonna do is go through the ingredients. And like I said, I'm 1.5ing them because I have different sized pans, so I thought that's how best to go about this. So We are going to preheat our oven to 375 degrees. We are going to generously grease, which I already did. I did 3 13 by 9 by 2, or you can go and do 3 11 by 7 and go by the regular recipe. So I'm using 1.5 cups of sugar, 7 ounces of almond paste, cut into small pieces. We're gonna do that with our hands and just tear it. That's why I put my gloves on. Almond paste doesn't come in a can around here anymore. It comes in this nice little box, and yeah, I have never seen it come like this, so this is a new thing for me. But yeah, that's our almond paste. We're gonna use 6 large eggs at room temperature. 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1.5 cups of butter melted and cooled. Already did that. I've got it set aside. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. I'm sorry. 3/4 of a teaspoon of almond extract, and some red and green food coloring, and the jam, of course. And then for our glaze, we're going to need semi-sweet chocolate chips and some shortening. I'm going to use some cream. I'm just going to make a ganache. I'm not going to use shortening. I don't like using shortening if I can help it. But I'm going to cut into this. Maybe we can pause for just a second and turn the music down. It's really loud. I'm just going to cut this, guys, and we'll be back. Okay, so now that we've got the music situation adjusted, here's what we did. We cut this open, and look, it's a big block of almond paste. Used to come in a can. It's no big deal. It's the same stuff. This is what marzipan is made of. It's just almond paste. It's flour. I mean, not flour. Duh. Almonds, sugar, and water, and they make a paste out of it. It's just finely ground into this paste. We're just gonna break it like little modeling clay into little pieces here. And I've not, my old recipe, I couldn't find my old recipe for this. That's why this one's a little bit new to me. But basically the same thing and the same ingredients. It was just different size pans, so I'm adjusting for that. Now, my other one recipe did not call for putting this in the food processor. So we're gonna see how this works. I don't know, we'll see. So let's see. We are going to put 1.5 cups of sugar. The sugar's over here. And the almond paste into the food processor. Okay, and now we just kind of blend this up is what it says. Now I gotta get my food processor lid. Here we go. Okay, so let me just go scroll down just a second here and see what it says. Preheat oven to 375, blah, blah, blah. Place sugar and almond paste in a food processor and process until combined. Okay, we can do that. I wonder if this is what it's supposed to look like, but it looks like it's combined to me. It's just like sugar and sandy, and it's got like a sand consistency to it. I think that's good. I just wanted to break down the almond paste and everything. All right, so now it says to transfer to a large bowl. And then beat eggs and sugar mixture for 2 to 3 minutes. So now we're gonna get our sand mixer involved. So we're gonna unplug the food processor, plug in, hopefully we don't blow a fuse here. the, no we won't, stand mixer. We've got our stand mixer right here. Here we go. We just cleaned it from the last thing we did. All right. Okay. Remove this stuff here. Here we go. Maybe. Make this bottom. The bigger counters. Okay. This is up again. It's like my mixer's blowing a gasket or something. All right. Hopefully that stops. Okay. Just gonna put the sugar mixture in here. Smells good. Okay. Now I'm gonna put my paddle attachment on. Oh, that has something weird on it too. Okay. Okay, we're good. Okay, like that. And I think it said egg. Glasses on. It says, let's see, in a large bowl, beat the eggs and sugar mixture for 2 to 3 minutes or until thick and lemon colored. All right, so let's see here. I'm doing 6 eggs in here. See a shell. I was really careful to look for the shells just in case we get one in. We got one stray one in there. So there we go. All right. So we're going to do this. We're going to lock it. And it says 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to start it. We'll let you watch for a couple seconds there, and then we'll turn it off because we don't need to do it the whole, have you watch the whole 2 to 3 minutes, but we will be back when it is finished. Okay, so as you can see, I don't know if they can see, but it's lemon colored, and this is exactly, it's been 3 minutes, and that's what we're looking for. So now we're going to gradually add our flour, butter, salt, and extract. So we're going to add half a cup of the flour at a time. And then I'm going to turn it off. I'm going to add a little bit of the butter, a third maybe. I'm going to add the salt at this point as well. The salt is done. Get that out of the way. There we go. So now we're going to add another half a cup of the flour. So I have a cup here, so I'm just going to do half of that. I'm trying to do it so it doesn't spill anymore. Stop laughing, Richard. Alright. Now I'm going to add in a second here some more butter. teaspoon of the almond extract. You gotta be careful because almond extract is very strong. That one you want to measure. I don't measure my vanilla extract. I eyeball that, but all my other extracts I always measure because they're really strong and powerful. You don't want an artificial taste coming through. Now I'm going to add the rest of the butter. See what the batter looks like. I may need to add a little more flour. Okay. Well, it's looking pretty good. It's got more of a cake consistency than a cookie, even though it's called a cookie. Mix that a little bit more. Alright, so I'm gonna take the flour out of the equation here so we don't make a mess. Okay. There we go. Okay, so now this is where it gets a little tricky, because we need to now divide the batter in 2/3 and color it. So, wish me luck, Richard. Oh, this is always the hardest part. Okay. So, guesstimate. See what we can do here. I'm gonna get 2 bowls. I'm gonna ladle. Ladle into the bowls. Because the point is to try to get an even amount of batter in each of your pans. So, I'm going to do 1 scoop here. One scoop here. One scoop here. Does that look even? I think we have more white, so I'll go more here. I think that's enough because we need to make a layer. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray I did this right because I really don't know how much I have. So here's the red. I'm going to, and this is another reason why I have gloves on. I'm gonna do one, just a touch. I'm gonna go get a spoon, a flat plastic spoon, which is not where it normally is. Oh, they're behind Richard. Okay. Here we go. So let's see. We don't want it like red, like blood red. More kind of a pink. Let's see what we come with. I don't like to put too much dye in my food, as you know, but we gotta get the colors correct because it will darken also as we bake it. I'm gonna do one more dot. Red. One drop. That's all. Okay. I think the red and green are like the only food colors I use on this box ever. Okay, here's the green. And you don't want any streaks of the white coming through, so just keep stirring. And the reason I'm using a plastic spoon is because I don't want to stain any of my silicone. I don't know, does that look red? Should I do more?
Looks orange.
It looks orange. Okay, I'll do a little more. I'd rather do 1 drop at a time than I'll do 2. Because I don't want to do too much, you know. And see, it already got, that would have been on my hand, so. That kind of looks coral, doesn't it? That's looking more. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
Looks good.
Okay. Now, I'll do the green. Oh, that's really green. There's no mistaking that that's green. That looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now you can see we have the red, the white, and the green. So what I'm going to do now is get one of my prepared pans, and I'm going to come over here now. This is empty. And let's see what we're going to do. We're going to get it all out, but not with the ladle. We're going to use one of these. Okay. So now I'm going to put this in our pan and try to, I'm going to take my glasses off because they're getting in the way. We need to spread this evenly in the pan. I really hope I divided it properly. Now mind you, this is not going to be a thick thing. It's because we're layering it and everything. So you guys get the idea. We're just going to spread this out evenly. I'm doing the white layer first because if we need extra batter, I can scoop some out of here and make more red and green, and we'll see. But I wanted to make sure we had enough white before we went forward. So now we're going to switch out, and I'll go to the red, and I'm going to rinse the spatula in between the next couple of layers because, you know, you don't want to get red in your green. You're trying not to mix the batters together. So I'm gonna take this spoon out, but I need that batter. And I think I'm gonna need all the batter I have. I'm gonna add as much as I possibly can over there. Yeah, see, I think there's a lot more white than there was red and green. Let's see what we get with this. Yep, I'm gonna need to take some out of the white and make more red. Okay, this is a tricky thing of this because it doesn't say, you know, you gotta kind of guesstimate a third. And I think we're gonna need just about another scoop. Okay, so the red layer is done, and it doesn't matter that this, you see the one I made after is a little bit more red because we're gonna cut them into little bite-sized squares later, so these will all be consistent in the end. Okay. Let's see how we do with our green layer. We're definitely going to need more for this pan too, but we'll see. We're actually not bad on this one. Just another little bit. I have gotten away with it, but it's paper thin. You can't have paper thin. So you need a little bit more. So I'll make more. I'll be back. I'm in more green. This looks more, I think I did more, a better job of dyeing this one. I can spread it out a little bit thicker. More evenly, make it a little bit so it's not so paper thin. Okay. So now I'm going to spread the white layer again and see if I need, if I have enough to, you know, make my layers. I think we will, because this was pretty thick. I'm gonna put this over here. This one makes a lot of dishes. Sorry, Richard. But yeah, see, we have a lot of batter in here, so we're all good. Do you think the red looks like it needs more richer? Okay. Okay. So now these all go into the oven for 7 to 11 minutes. And then they need to come out and cool. And then we need to layer them with jam. And then we need to put them in the fridge for 20 minutes. And then we make the ganache. But while that's all happening, we're gonna grab some dinner, take a dinner break, because we've been doing this for roughly 4 and some odd hours now. And we need to have dinner. So we're gonna have a dinner break. And then we're also going to make more cookies while these are cooling and chilling and all that. So we'll be back with the next cookie in a little bit. Okay, so we're back, guys, and now we're going to make one of my favorites I make every year. It may be one of your favorites too. It is a cranberry white chocolate chip cookie. I know this is one of Richard's favorites. It's my favorite cookie that I make, I think. And I'm doubling the recipe, so everything I'm giving you is the doubled recipe. And trust me, you'll need the doubled recipe. They don't last long. And I am, like I said, putting some in the cookie boxes, but I'm also keeping some of them for us. That's why I doubled it. So we're using, and again, if you want to half the recipe, just cut everything in half. So we're using 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of white sugar, 1 cup of butter. So 1, 1, 1, real easy there. 2 large eggs. It says 2 tablespoons of brandy. I use vanilla extract. 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 cups of dried cranberries. I use the Glazing, so that's what I use. And of course your 2 cups of white chocolate chips. Okay, so this is pretty simple. I've made this so many times, so we shouldn't have any issues with this. So we're going to take our butter that I've softened to room temperature, and we're going to pop it in the stand mixer. Oh, and I preheated my oven to 375 degrees before I started this, and we have 2 parchment lined baking sheets ready to go for this. So we're going to cream our butters and our butter and sugars, I should say, not butters. We have 2 kinds of sugar, 1 butter. So we need a cup of butters in there now. And don't forget, when you're doing your brown sugar, I use light brown sugar for my recipes, and I always pack it because you're supposed to really pack that in the cup so you measure properly. So I'm pressing it down is what I'm doing in the cup while like that. And then we have, see, a nice cup of sugar, brown sugar. Okay, I'm going to put this back in its canister, and then we'll get a cup of regular white granulated sugar. There's our white granulated sugar. I'm just going to scoop here. I'm a little scant, just a scant shy, but that much. There we go. Okay. So I really need better measuring cups. And so we're going to cream the butter and sugars together. Now let me see if it says to add the eggs at this point, or if we cream first. Yep, we're going to cream first and then add the egg and the vanilla. That's what I thought. Just double checking. Just double checking. Okay. Here we go. Always start on low. You guys know that. And ahead of time, I mixed in a bowl. I don't know if you can see that. The 3 cups of flour, the teaspoon of baking soda, and it doesn't call for salt. I always add a little salt. Every cookie recipe needs some salt. So I put about a little over ½ teaspoon in there. I don't know why it doesn't call for salt. I thought that was so strange. And let this go, because you want to cream it together really nicely. There we go. That's looking nice. Okay, so now at this point, we're going to add our 2 eggs. Now, I'm using egg beaters for this one. And let's see. And that's 2 of these. Because each egg is a 1/4 cup, and this is a 1/4 cup. There's my egg beaters done. And at this point also, we're going to add our vanilla extract. And you guys know with the vanilla, I just kind of guesstimate. I like the vanilla. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on low again. We don't want splatters. We'll turn it up just a little bit. And get that mixed up really good. All right. So now, at this point, we're going to turn our mixer off. We're going to tilt the head, and we're going to start adding our flour mixture. I'm going to do it probably in thirds. There we go. Got some of the groove there. We'll push that down. We'll lock it in place. This one's such a simple recipe, really. All right. We're gonna add some more of our flour mixture. Okay. You don't want to overmix, but you want to make sure you don't have any raw flour sticking out in there. Well incorporated. Okay, last addition of the flour. Push any that falls on the rim over. Okay. We're going to save that because we need it for our next recipe. When you're measuring your flour and dry ingredients, just use the same bowl if you're making multiple batches of cookies, because you can, you know, save dish time, like clean up and stuff. It's all flour, baking soda, salt. Flour, baking soda, salt. So it's all the same stuff. So I just reuse it. So I'll be reusing that for the next recipe. All right. Looking good. All right, so now our batter, cookie dough batter, is done. And what I'm gonna do is get my trusty spurtle and just get it off the paddle. So, and now it's gonna be the fun part after this. The fun part for Richard will be when he gets to sample from the beater. I won't take all of it off, but a good portion of it. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. Move these out of the way for now. So here comes the fun part. We're going to fold in. I can take this off just to make it a little easier. There we go. So we're gonna do 2 cups approximately of chocolate chips. I eyeball it. This is a 24-ounce package, so I do like half of it, or a little more than half. I like to load these up, Richard knows. I don't skimp on the fillings. So I'm gonna just fold this in and we'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what it looks like after we've mixed it. Really nice. We've got plenty of cranberries, white chocolate chips, and all that. So we've got our little cookie scoop, trusty cookie scoop that has a little cookie batter because I had it sitting in here. And we have a parchment lined baking sheet. And we're just gonna, these are really easy. You don't have to shape them or anything. You just scoop and go. And like I did with the other ones, I'm just gonna make one tray for you and then put them in the oven and then get more trays done. Just repeat and do the same process. As you can see, they're chock full of cranberries and white chocolate chips, which is the whole point of it. Can't have a white chocolate chip cranberry cookie without lots of cranberries and white chocolate chips, so I always load them up. Okay, so that's the end of that tray. We bake them in a preheated 375 degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. I usually do it 10 to 12, to be honest with you. And you know, they start to turn a light golden brown, and that's when you know they're done. Everyone's oven is calibrated differently, so just keep an eye on them. Light golden brown, pop them out, and then put them, let them cool for like maybe 2 to 3 minutes, then pop them on a cooling rack to completely cool, and you're good to go. So yeah, see you in a little bit. Hi again, everyone. So now we're making the icing for the egg biscuit cookies. So I just sifted 2 cups of powdered sugar. I added a tablespoon of lemon extract, and now I'm just gonna add a little bit of milk. And we're gonna stir it and to see what kind of consistency we get. You gotta be careful. And I use this bowl because it's easy to dip the cookies in to ice them. I think I'm gonna need more milk, if I'm not mistaken. But we'll see. Yep, we're gonna get a little bit more. Want it a little bit thinner. Let's see how that goes. I'll get in there. And just a little splash more milk because it's really thick. So I'm gonna make it just a touch, like a splash. Let's see how we're doing. Yeah, it's still a little bit thick. And just a touch more, just a touch. There. There's a fine line, and you have to know where your happy spot is with this. And I think we're there now. See, it's kind of glossy, and it's not too thick, but it's not so thin that it's gonna like run off the cookie. So, okay, so I'm gonna put the milk away, and then when we pick up, we'll be in the dining room where we're cooling all the cookies, and I'll show you how we frost the egg biscuits and decorate them. Hello everyone, and welcome to my dining room. This is where you can scan all the cookies that we've done so far. Don't pay attention to the Italian rainbow cookies. We're going to fix them. That happens every time we make them. All right, so I'm going to show you really fast a few of these, and then we'll, stop filming so I can go a little bit faster. But you just want to dip in ice. Dip in ice. I like to get it in all the cracks and everything. And then you roll the excess off. And this is why we line the whole table with wax paper underneath our cookie racks, sorry. You're gonna go a little bit fast because this will start setting. And so I'll do a row and then I'll sprinkle them with the nonpareils. And you can, I mean, these are also called Easter cookies and all kinds of things. They just switch out the colored sprinkles for the appropriate holiday or occasion. So you can make them for almost anything. You can put as many sprinkles as you like. I like sprinkle. I think they make them look pretty, festive. Or you can, you know, you don't even have to put sprinkles if you don't want to. But I mean, sprinkly kind of world. And if for some reason you don't have enough icing, you can always go back and make more. It's so easy. Just powdered sugar, some lemon extract, and a little bit of milk. You guys saw that. But these are so easy and so yummy. I'll finish this row, Richard, and then we'll take a pause so I can speed up the assembly line a little bit. We've been at this, well, for quite a while. Okay, so next cookie is called a holiday candy melt thumbprint cookie. It's a take on the thumbprint cookie. I've made these cookies every year for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 years now. It's from a food blog I found online, Lord Byron. He makes all kinds of Christmas cookies, and these were easy, fun, and delicious. So I'm incorporating them into this year's Magical Night of Hope cookie auction boxes. So we've got, I'll go through all the ingredients and we'll start cooking or baking. We've got a cup of butter, 2/3 of a cup of white granulated sugar, 2 large egg yolks, vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon, 2 1/3 cups of all-purpose flour, red and green candy melt, and sanding sugar. And that's it. Really easy. It's like a butter cookie. And not many ingredients, really nice and simple. All right, so we're gonna cream the butter and 2/3 of a cup of sugar in the stand mixer. 1, 2, and then do we put the egg yolks in? I can't remember. Butter and sugar, then we add the egg yolks and vanilla. That's what I thought. I always just like to double check myself and always start at low speed. Let your mixer do its thing. So now we're going to add the 2 egg yolks I've got right here. Vanilla. And I think that's it. Yep, and then we mix in the flour and that's the dough. That's it. So we'll mix this in. And I'm just going to stop for 1 minute and scrape the sides of the bowl down. Always a good idea. Of course, I got it on the paddle thing. That's okay. There we go. Okay. And if it doesn't come off of the paddle, I'm gonna push it, which I think I'm going to. Because it got stuck in the middle there, so that big blob, we need it to incorporate. So there we go. And then gradually increase your speed just to get it nice and creamy. You don't want stuff flying all over the kitchen. But you can see it's at a good, creamy, nice kind of whipped consistency there. Okay, so now we're going to add 2 1/3 cups of flour. So, oops, I know where my thingy went to sweep it. I think it's right here. Yep. Okay, so we're going to do 2 of these. And then this is 1/3 because I used 1/3 of a cup, 2/3 of a cup of sugar. So do this. There we go. And it didn't say to gradually add it or anything. You just add it all at once. You could add it gradually if you want to, I would suppose. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, I'm gonna lock it in place and go slow. And you don't want to overmix this because this dough could get tough, but you do want to get it incorporated really well. You don't want to see flour. And it is a little bit of a dry dough once you start molding it. I've got my gloves on because we're going to roll it into little balls, and we're going to roll it into some sugar. If you have sanding sugar, go for it. I don't have sanding sugar, nor could I find it in stores, so I'm using just granulated sugar, like I would when I'm making like a peanut butter blossom or something. Gonna go a little bit more just to get all the flour going there. There. That's our dough. So now we're gonna just push this all off. And it's nice when you have the gloves because I can touch all this and not get it on my hands and not contaminate everything. And get all the dough, look at that, off of there. Get that off. Okay. So simple butter cookie dough. So now we're gonna, let's see. Well, we're gonna pause just for a minute. I'm gonna have Richard get my cookie sheets. So here's the next step, you guys. We're gonna make a full tray of these. So you take one little, like, no, that's probably a little too big. Like that. Make it as round of a ball as you can. It doesn't really matter because we're going to be pressing candy into it. So now you go into your sugar over here. You might want to come around, I don't know. And then you just coat it in the sugar to make it nice and pretty and shiny when it bakes. Make sure it's all well coated. Then just put it on your baking sheet. And we're going to continue to do this, and then I'll show you the next step. And these cookies are so yummy, but they're so simple. Again, if you can find sanding sugar, great, but if you can't, regular granulated sugar's fine. That's what I've always used in this, and it's always been just fine. I don't know, ever since the pandemic in 2020, I've been having a hard time finding weird, you know, like ingredients that were like so readily available. I can't find sanding sugar anymore. So weird. And I did find it on like Amazon, but it was like a 10-pound bag. I don't need a 10-pound bag. And then after we do this is the fun part. No yawning on the job, Richard. If you notice, these didn't have any like baking soda or baking powder in them, so they don't like rise or puff out too much. So you can put them about an inch and a half apart. Should be fine on your baking sheet. And then the oven's preheated. I forgot to tell you, to 350 degrees, and of course we lined our baking sheets with parchment paper. And then the man who made this recipe, Lord Byron, that's his, I don't know if he's really a lord, or if he has holds a title or anything like that. But he colors his cookies, like he makes black and orange ones for Halloween, which are kind of cool. And he makes pink and red ones for Valentine's. So you can play around with the dough and all that. I just change out the candies that we're gonna put in the middle of this. And like I said, it's kind of a different take on a thumbprint cookie. I'm almost done with this tray. And wait till you see the festive turn this is gonna take in just a second here. And this is, you'll also see why I say it's not important to get things in a perfect round ball, because things will change in a moment. Oops. Okay. So, here we go. I'm gonna just wipe my hands of any sugar there. So, I'm gonna start with my red candy melts because they were the first ones I grabbed. So there's a flat side like this, you see? And then there's the kind of concave round side. You want the round side up. You're gonna take your cookie like this and just push down. Firmly but gently. And sometimes these candy melts stick together. See, those were two. So you gotta make sure you just have one. Oh, and I was supposed to do every other one, so I'm going to move these around because I like to do red, green, because I'm weird like that. I just like it to look pretty. And then when you bake them, the chocolate will melt. And then when it cools again, after they come out of the oven, it solidifies so it doesn't fall out of the center, which I think is brilliant. And like I said, you can play around with dyeing your dough if you'd like to. You could even use fruit juices or vegetable dyes to do that. And but I like to do it with the different colored chocolate wafers for the centers of the cookies. So these are my Christmas ones. And you're probably looking like, why is it red? Well, that could be Rudolph's nose. and green for Christmas tree. Okay? Aren't they pretty? And then we're going to put them into the 350-degree oven that's been preheated for about 10 to 12 minutes. You don't want these to get golden brown because they're supposed to be very lightly colored, so not more. You know, if you start seeing browning on the cookie, take them out immediately. There we go. Okay, so we're just going to put them in the oven, and I'll make more, and we'll see you on the next flip side of this. Okay everyone, so we're back in my dining room of cookies, and we are assembling the Italian rainbow cookies, and I just put the green layer down. Don't let the edges on them fool you. I see, you know, they do that. You'll get edges like that. It even says in the recipe to trim them off, so we're going to trim them off so they look nice and pretty when we're done. So the green layer goes on the bottom. I did that, and I put some jam on it. I've got strawberry jam here, and it's just a thin layer. You don't want, you know, jam oozing out everywhere, but you want a nice, you know, nice thin, even layer. And you can see for some reason, my, even though you saw me spread it, you guys saw me spread it and make it even in the pan, it didn't come out as even as I thought it would. But that's okay, we're gonna fix them and make them look pretty. That's the nice thing about these. They're very forgiving, and you can adjust them later. Like the thickness is different on, it went like, but all the layers did that, and I don't know why, but that's okay. Happy little accidents, like Bob Ross would say. And so we're not like slathering it all, you know, it's just a nice little thin layer of jam. And even in the trimming where you're going to trim, it's nice to have that because that's what I call the cook snack. So you get to taste it. But yeah, get it all the way, the edges, and just a nice layer. Now you could use apricot jam, you could use cherry jam, you can use whatever is your jam. So now we're going to end with the red layer. And now what we do is we push down firmly on it. And we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about, stop it Richard, about a half an hour. Then we're going to make the glaze on top, which is just a chocolate ganache. And then I'm going to chill them overnight. And then we're going to cut them into squares. So that's the next step. So till next time, we'll be back. Okay guys, so now we are making our Christmas nougat. And I think I made this for you guys before. I'm not sure if I did or not, but I know I made it for the Magical Night of Hope cookie boxes before because it's delicious, it's festive, and it's fun and easy. So we need 2 tablespoons of butter, 16 ounces of mini marshmallows, 16 ounces of white chocolate chips, which is about 2.5 cups, roughly, 2 2/3 of a cup of white chocolate chips approximately, and 2 cups of gumdrops. I've got the holiday red and green dots candy, and this couldn't be more simple. So we've got our 16 ounces of white chocolate chips. We've got our 2 tablespoons of butter, and we are just going to microwave it. So I'm going to put it in the microwave for about a minute and see what we're doing with. I'm going to actually put it in for 2 minutes because I know how long this takes because I've done it before. And then, once it's done, we stir and keep putting it back for 30 seconds at a time. And then we add the marshmallows and heat in 30-second increments until each one is, you know, all of them are melted and combined. And then we set the bowl with the nougat base aside for just a couple of minutes, and then we stir in the gumdrops. And I've prepared here a 13 by 9 inch baking dish that I use with parchment paper. That'll make it much easier to get the nougat out because it needs to chill in the fridge overnight. So I'm making sure I make this the day before I'm going to package everything to get it ready to be shipped out. So let's see what we're doing here. It's been about a minute. I'm still gonna check it. But yeah, it's done nothing. That's why I put it in for 2 minutes, because I know. And then I'm gonna need a spatula. I think I'll just do that. Might make it a little bit easier by using this whole bag. Alrighty. Also, my recipe says if you would like thicker nougat. Now, I think this makes just the perfect size nougat, and you get more when you do it in a 13 by 9 inch pan. But it says if you want thicker nougat, like thick nougat, like that thick, use an 8 by 8 square dish. But I like the 13 by 9. You get more nougat that way, and you know, I think it's just the perfect size. Okay, I'm gonna get my spurtle. Here we go. And it's been 2 minutes. We're gonna stir it. See what we've got here. It's melting, but it's not quite melted. So we'll just kind of scrape everything off. And here, I'll do this. Put this, the nougat's going in there anyway. So I'm just going to put this back in. Okay, what just happened? It made a funny noise. Okay. Sounded like something fell over, but it didn't. I'm going to put it in for another minute, and we will see if that's, you know, that it melted. And then we are going to put in our marshmallows and then do the same thing, 30 seconds, 30 seconds. I do a minute at a time because I know my microwave. It won't melt anything in 30 seconds. We have 22 seconds to kill. And I've been baking for 7.5 hours. This is like one of my charity streams. I should have done this live and put on the donations for Give Kids the World. But I would have been exhausted and I wouldn't have had a potty break. So, all right. This is looking much better here. Yep. Kind of looks like clay. I always say this when I make them, like it looks like clay. But in we go with the marshmallows. Oh, I knew there was a straggler in there somewhere. Okay. Let's get that off of there. Put it back in the microwave. And one fell on the floor, so put that in the garbage bowl. Don't eat that, Richie. And yeah, so now we wait. This is so simple, and I love it. It's just I actually got this recipe from Corey's mother-in-law, Enchanted Nana in the chat. And she makes all kinds of cookies and candies. She's like me, she loves to bake and cook. And when I saw this recipe, she had sent, I think 2 years ago, she sent some of this Christmas nougat to Magical Night of Hope for us on the crew to enjoy. you know, while we were setting up and in between and breaks and stuff. And I was like, whoa, Richard, you gotta try this. And he tried it and he's like, whoa, this is great. And everyone loved it. So I said, I've gotta get the recipe. And Stephanie, who is Enchanted Mom, not Nana's daughter, and Corey's beautiful wife, said, you're not gonna believe how easy it is. And she sent me the recipe and I'm like, whoa, I can do that. And so I've been making it ever since. So thank you, Enchanting Nana, for this recipe. Now we're just gonna stir this up. And see, look, 1 minute, that's all it took for this to melt and get all gooey and ooey. And I hope this doesn't get on my glasses. I probably should take my glasses off for now and put them over there. I don't need any more accidents today. I've gotten sugar on them, flour on them. I've had to do a lot of glass cleaning today. Look at that. And we have nougat, guys. This is nougat. How simple was that in the microwave? I probably can coat. I thought I was going to have to put it back in. I don't think so, because look at this. It's going to keep stirring and keep stirring and keep stirring. And it's nice and smooth. And the reason I wanted to make this, like I said, is because it does need to set and chill at least 2 hours, but preferably overnight. So we're going to put it in the fridge. And I wanted to have it in the fridge so that when I do go to pack up the boxes to ship to the Magical Night of Hope cookie auction winners, that it's set properly. So, okay, so I don't think it needs to sit 2 more minutes. I really don't. I think this is just fine because look, it's getting like webbing here. It's really nougaty. So, got my 2 cups of red and green dot. You can use, I've done it where I couldn't find the holiday dots, red and green. You can use the regular dots. It's fine. No sweat there. Whatever you can find. I'm just gonna mix these in. Now I will say, the other thing you could do that the recipe says is if you're so inclined, you could cut your dots in half. That seems a little tedious to me since we're gonna be cutting the nougat anyway after it chills, so. But you could do that if you wanted to and you had the time and maybe the nougat was all you were making for the holidays. And okay, look at that. It's gonna be so good. And when you cut into this, once it sets up, it looks like stained glass. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know, do you think that's enough dots, or should I put more dots? More dots? Good dots. Richard's saying, yep, okay. So that's enough dots. So we're gonna pour this mixture now. This is where it gets a little bit sticky and tricky, into our prepared pan, which just has parchment. Oh, heavy. So Richard, tell them about the nougat. Do you like the nougat?
The nougat is very good.
Yeah, and so easy,
It's one of my
right?
favorites.
One of his favorites. So, like I said, it's sticky and tricky when it gets to this stage. And that's why I don't like letting it cool the 2 minutes like it says, because you'll never get this out of here.
I'll get it out.
And so I'm gonna go like this with my fingers, and then I'm just gonna rinse my fingers because I'm gonna see, hold on, if I can, running out of space. There. So this needs to spread out. And this is always the tricky part. And I might, you know what I'm gonna do? There you go. I'll give him the spatula. Really good. I'm going to get my gloves and push it down. That's usually what I do because it's so hard to get with the spatula. But this is where, now I'm going to tell you guys, look at this box of food safe gloves I've got. There's like, how many in here? 100 gloves, right? For 10 bucks. That's really not that bad. And it really helps. I don't think I need to do both hands. But I just want to, see, push it in. See what I mean? Because it's nice and warm, actually. And it doesn't have to be a perfect square. Let's try to get it nice and even in your pan. But look, see, it's not sticking to, but it was sticking to the spatula, see? So this makes it a little bit easier to go and do this. I think we need to let this cool for just a minute, and I'll cover it with a lid because I have a lid for this. And we will put it in the fridge. And then tomorrow we will cut it up. I have a handy dandy cutter that I use for cutting pizza and nougat. And yeah, just try to make it even as you can. And that's another thing with the gloves, you can feel. You can feel how thick it is and make sure that it's, you know, to your, it's even. Is basically what I'm trying to say. See, there. Looks good, right? Ooh. See if I can get any of this out. I don't think it's gonna come out. Yeah. Okay, so we have some residuals stuck in the bowl, but that comes out really easy with soap and water. So guys, that's it. That's the, Richard's eating the nougat. That's the Christmas nougat. It just goes in the fridge now overnight, and then we'll cut it into squares and get it ready for the Magical Night of Hope auction winner. So Christmas nougat, easy peasy. Enjoy it. Richie is. Hi everyone, welcome back. It's the next day. I have a new headband and everything. We baked for and cooked for what, almost 8 hours yesterday. So we kind of called it a night. We hit a wall. But we're back today to finish up the Magical Night of Hope cookie boxes. So here is, now mind you, do not get alarmed by these edges. They're going to be trimmed off later. But here's our rainbow cookies. And I know they look kind of, I don't know what happened there, but we're going to fix it. But we're here to frost them. So I just melted some chocolate chips and a little bit of, a couple of tablespoons, I think, of heavy cream in the microwave, and it was about 12 ounces of chocolate chips. And so we've got this nice creamy consistency, and I'm going to ice or frost the top layer of our rainbow cookies. Now I will say I don't have my multi-camera angles right now because at church, I'm in between church services. I still host the online church services at my church. So we're in between the 8 and 9:30 service. I said this will be a good time to finish this up. It's not that hard. So once I spread this all over, I'll just show you what I'm doing here. We have the chocolate there. Now when we cut these, you won't see the unevenness. I'll show you later because I've got to chill again and set up. But yeah, it's gonna really come out nicely once we cut them into their little squares. We're gonna trim off all the edges and make them nice and clean. So you won't see all the imperfections that you saw when, you know, I made them like the burnt lines in the I still don't know what happened there. Where it's just like, I saw you spreading it out and it looked all even. And I was like, I even asked you if it was even, and he said it wasn't. I thought it was, so maybe it's our age. I don't know. But here we go, guys, here we go. And so you can see the 3 layers there, the red, white, and green. And you'll see it better. It'll be much more of a spectacular presentation once I cut them. But yeah, my advice going forward is really make sure, see, the hardest part is dividing the batter into thirds and then making sure each one has enough, each pan has the same amount, making sure it's all even. Maybe I shouldn't have used my Temptations. Maybe I should have gotten a glass baker so I could see, you know, how level it was. Maybe I'll do that next time. But I've made them in my Temptations many times over the past and never had this issue. Could have been because I was baking like 10 different kinds of cookies in 2 days. So that could have been it. But it's going to be beautiful. You will see. I'm going to now put this back in the fridge to set up. I know it doesn't look pretty right now. We're going to fix that. And I will cut them up later after it sets up. And I will show you how pretty they really are. And you'll be surprised, I bet. You're going to say, how does that mess go to these pretty cookies? But you'll see. Okay, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Bye. Hi again, guys. I'm down here now because I don't know where my other tripod is. But now we're going to be making Cathedral fudge. Cathedral window fudge. It's stained glass fudge. It's just a really pretty simple fudge. I've been making this, I think, since like the 90s. I got the recipe off of Pillsbury.com, and it's a simple recipe. So I've got my heavy bottom saucepan or pot here, and I doubled this recipe because I wanted some leftover fudge for us too because it's so good. And I make it every year. So we have, mind you, I doubled the recipe. 4 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips. We're going to melt in the saucepan over medium heat. And then once it melts, we're going to stir in 2 tubs of just your favorite chocolate fudge frosting. You could use milk chocolate if you can't find chocolate fudge, no biggie. Any brand will do, Pillsbury, Betty Crocker, Duncan Hines, whatever you fancy. You can even make your own if you want to, but it's so simple. And then the last thing after, at the end, we're gonna stir in 4 cups of colored fruit-flavored marshmallows. If you don't like these, you can use regular, but you won't get that pretty colored stained glass effect, which is why it's called Cathedral window fudge. But I found out that a 10-ounce bag is exactly 4 cups. So yay that I'm doubling the batch. I won't have any leftover marshmallows there. Okay, so I'm just gonna go check my recipe really fast and I will be right back. I just wanna make sure I have it on the right heat setting on the stove. It's medium, I believe, but we'll just double check. It's medium low, so it's fine. And you just keep stirring until the chocolate melts. And I know, this is such a weird angle. I don't know where my other tripod is, but it's okay. We make do, right? Okay, so we're still in between my church services, and it is now December 22nd. And 3 days till Christmas, and I really want to get this stuff done so I can get the cookie boxes shipped before Christmas, even though they won't get them by Christmas, but they'll get them before New Year's, so they can put them out for New Year's. And then, you know, things here are melting slowly but surely. You don't want to do it over a high heat because it'll burn your chocolate. And make sure your pan is nice and dry, because if you get any water in your chocolate, it will seize up into a solid mass and will not melt properly. All right, this just takes a few minutes. It's already starting to melt. And then once we stir the marshmallows in, I'm going to move us over to our normal place so I can show you. We will then divide them into 2 nice logs and wrap them. You can either use plastic wrap, wax paper, or parchment, whatever you're fancy. I've used all 3 on various, years depending on what I had on hand. And then you pop them in the fridge. And then they're ready to cut after a couple of hours, and you cut them into nice rounds. And they're absolutely stunning when you cut them. So pretty. Yeah, we're melting really nicely here. I don't know if I can show you. Yeah. Okay. We're getting there. We're almost there. And you want to stir your chocolate chips constantly so we don't, scorch them. And also so they don't stick to the bottom of the pan, and to help melt the chocolate. And you want to get it all so there's no lumps. It's nice and smooth and creamy. And you'll see we're there in just 1 more minute maybe. Scrape this down. There we go. These chocolate chips were stuck on my spatula. Get those all melted down. Oh, this is lovely. Okay, so look what we've got, guys. That's what we're looking for. Okay, so it's like, that's the consistency. Okay, now we're going to stir in our frosting. And I'm sorry if I'm doing a bad job with the camera work. No idea what I'm doing. I'm so not, the behind the scenes person. I just cook. All right. There's one, and then we gotta get the other one. Oh, there's some in there. Want to make sure you get almost, as much of it out as you can. Unless you have like Richard around who would like to, have the leftovers in here. Okay. Let's stir that in a little bit. And then got the other one here. I already took the foil off, so be a little easier. We're gonna stir that a little. Now we're gonna put this in. Some pot clanging going on. Oh, okay. That's looking good. All right. So we're going to stir this in till everything's well combined, because you don't want just, the frosting sitting there. Okay, combine this well. This is kind of a workout. Okay. And here we go. That's what we have. There's our fudge. Now, we're going to fold in gently our marshmallows. And then you just fold them in. Fold them in. And then we're going to let this sit for a few minutes before we roll it into logs, because it would be way too hot and you don't want to burn your fingers. So you gotta let it sit for just a minute till you can manage it comfortably. The recipe says to let it sit 15 minutes. We'll probably do about that. And yeah, looking good. Just fold and fold. Till the marshmallows are all throughout the fudge. Here we go. Okay guys, so I'm gonna let this sit for 15 minutes and then we'll roll it into logs and I will be back. See ya. Okay guys, welcome back. So we are ready now to put our cold fudge into, form it into a log using our parchment paper. So we're gonna have 2 logs because like I said, I doubled the recipe. So I don't know how I'm gonna show you this, but we'll see. I can move the camera after I spoon it out. Might be some tricky things going on here. Okay. First of all, I want to get this on the center of the parchment. Okay. There we go. That looks about like half. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys on a ride. And that's what we have. It does not look very appetizing, but we will form this into a log and you'll see how it works here. And I've got some plastic wrap here to help as well. So I might just use that to help me out here. It doesn't have to be a perfect log, I will say. Just need to, okay. And then once you get that going, you can kind of lay a piece of parchment over the top and form it into a log, like so. And I'll show you what I'm doing in just a second. I got chocolate on my hands, which always happens. No big deal. We'll just go wash our hands. Okay. Now that we have washed our hands and gotten the chocolate off, I'm going to show you what we've done here. So see, we've made a log, and I'm going to wrap it up really good and make it as round as possible. Alright, so okay, so here's our log. I'm going to put it on a tray and I'm going to put it in the fridge to solidify a little bit and set up. I'm going to show you what it looks like cut later. But I'm going to let you guys go now so I can make the other log. And I won't bore you with doing that again. And then I'll show you the finished fudge a little later. So, okay guys, see you in a little while. Hi again, everyone. So we are on to our next confection. This one is Holiday M&M Fantasy Fudge Bars. And this is another one that's pretty easy. All we need are 2 cups of, or 12-ounce bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips, an 11-ounce bag of butterscotch chips, 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, 10.5 ounce, I think they took a ½ ounce away from the marshmallows now. So it's a 10 or 10.5 ounce bag of miniature marshmallows, and a cup or so of Christmas M&Ms. So we have in this bowl all the chips and the peanut butter, and all we're going to do is microwave it for 30-second, probably a minute intervals until it melts. And that's our first step. So let's do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here's our first iteration after a minute and a half about. We're going to stir and see what we're getting. The peanut butter is definitely melted. The chips are starting to melt, you can see. Oops. Okay, let's see. We may need to put this in for more, but the warmth of the peanut butter may do its job. Yep, it may be ready. Let's see. Oh, and also I should have started by telling you, I'm sorry, that I lined a 13 by 9 inch baking dish with parchment paper. And a tip I like to use, because the parchment will like puff up and not stay in place, I just spray the bottom of the pan of with nonstick cooking spray, aka Pam, and it stays in place. So there you go. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. Keep stirring. I still have some lumps. I might put it back in for a little bit. Although it is melting, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to scrape off my spurtle like so. There we go. I'm going to put my spurtle in the prepared pan because that mixture is just going in there after. I'm going to put it back in the microwave for about 30 seconds more. Let's see how that goes. Okay. So once it's all melted, all we do is stir in the marshmallows or fold them in gently and put it in the pan. And then we top it with the mini M&Ms, pop it in the fridge to set, and wait for it to set, and then we can cut it into little bars. So yeah, really easy, fun, festive thing you can make for your Christmas party or Christmas, you know, buffet, whatever you want to put out. Makes a great gift, classroom gift, teacher gift, as long as they're not allergic to peanuts. Just make sure. Okay, this is looking nice. It's getting there. There's still some lumps from the chocolate chips, but we're gonna stir it out. Some of them are being a little stubborn. Scrape the bowl down. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna keep stirring because they're almost, I'm gonna do 30 seconds more. We're not quite there. I still see some lumps. I want it perfectly smooth. So we will put it back in for about 30 seconds more. And that should about do it. Okay. Yep, it's perfect now. You can even see the gloss and the shine. Really nice. Okay. So we're going to give it another stir just to incorporate it and distribute the heat evenly. And you can see we got a couple of lumps, but we're going to stir them out. But see, it's kind of nice and malleable and melted. Get the last few chips melted. Yeah, we're looking good. Okay, so here we go. And now we're gonna fold in our marshmallows, just one 10.5 ounce bag of mini marshmallows. We're gonna fold them in. Like I said, I can't do this and put the camera angle down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. So I'll just hold it up when I'm finished folding, so you can see what's going on here. You want all the marshmallows coated. Looking good, looking good. Okay, so here's what we're left with. Yumminess in a bowl. Okay, So all we need to do now is pour it into our prepared baking dish. I'll do that. These are going to be so good. And again, another nice, easy recipe that you can make if you know, someone calls and says, oh, we're coming over for a visit, and you're like, oh my gosh, I have nothing to serve you. And you can make these. They're so easy. Okay, so we're going to spread it out in the pan. There we go. These are going to be thick bars, though. Make a lot. Okay, there we go. Now, we just take our M&Ms. Oh, I'll show you what's in here. So now we're just going to top it with the M&Ms. I'm just going to use this whole pack and see what we get here. And we're kind of supposed to press them in a little bit. And I think I'm going to use another bag because I don't think that's, for me anyway, it's not enough M&Ms. So I'm going to get more. These are 10-ounce bags, so I probably needed 1.5 bags of M&Ms. I didn't have like the family pack, which I normally use. Okay, we're going to spread them over. Had one go AWOL. Okay. Just gonna press these in gently. Of course, our hands are nice and clean. Okay, so basically, you'll see. This is what we're left with. So we're gonna pop this in the fridge, and once it's set, I'll cut them into bars and I'll show you what they look like. All right, I'll see you in a while, guys. Back to church. Okay guys, so now we are on to our peppermint bark. So all we need is 4 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 4 cups of white chocolate chips, some peppermint extract, which I have right here, and I've got some Brock's crushed peppermints. Now you can crush your own candy canes. This is just a time saver if you can find it. Or those, Starlight mints, you can crush those, put them in a, like a Ziploc bag and just smash them with, your burling pin or something. It's no big deal and easy to do if you can't find the crushed ones already. Okay, so we're gonna start in a large microwave bowl. We're gonna do our chocolate layer on the bottom. So I'm gonna do the semi-sweet chocolate chips. I'm gonna melt them in the microwave, and yeah, it's gonna take about 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then I will be back. And in the meantime, we're going to also prepare our pan. I've just got a cookie sheet that I'm lining with some parchment paper. So we'll microwave these, and we will be right back. Okay guys, so here's the chocolate. As you can see, it's nice and melted. And to this, I'm going to add a ½ teaspoon of peppermint extract. This one's important to measure because it's very strong. So we're gonna stir that in, and then I'm gonna put this aside for now. And then we're gonna stir it into the chocolate. Yum. Now, if you're not a mint lover, I will say this is not for you, but it's okay. There's other things I've made that I'm sure you'd like. So, we're gonna put the chocolate layer and spread it on the bottom of this parchment lined cookie sheet. Pretty simple process here. And try to get, I always use my favorite, silicone rubber spatula. It's really great at getting all the, well, not all, but as much of the batter, chocolate, whatever you're working with, dough, out of the bowl, which is a good thing because you don't want to waste it. Okay, I'm going to put this in the sink and we're going to spread this out evenly, and I'll show you. Just kind of, I'll do a little like this. You can see, I'm sorry about the camera, guys. It's really hard when you're working, you know, with food. I don't want to touch things and contaminate things, and so that aren't, you know, food. Okay, I'm just going to spread it out. It's a thin layer. This is not meant to be, you know, really thick. It'll be, I mean, by the time we do it, it's going to be thick because we're going to have a layer of white chocolate on top of this. But, you know what I mean. And I mean, this is not anything that has to be baked or anything like that. So you can make it thicker if you like. I mean, this is your peppermint bark. You make it as thick or thin or whatever you want to do. And if you don't like peppermint that much, you could leave the peppermint extract out of the chocolate and just do the chocolate and put the crushed candy canes on the top. That's an option as well. I'm just trying to spread this out. Okay. That looks pretty good, I think. Where's my little spatula? Oh, it's over there. I'll be right back. I just use my little spurtle to scrape off the rubber spatula because it gets kind of all over. You want to get as much of this off as you can. There we go. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to keep spreading a little bit more. This is going to be so good. Okay. So we have this layer right here. Now, the next step is to melt the white chocolate chips. So we'll be doing that. And I won't bore you for the 3 or 4 minutes it's gonna take to melt these. So I will take a break while these are in the microwave, and I will be right back. Okay, so we just melted our white chocolate chips, and I'm stirring those up. Now, in the meantime, I also put the chocolate layer that we made in the fridge just to start solidifying just a little bit, just so that when we put the white chocolate on top, it doesn't, like, you know, swirl together. If you want to make a swirled peppermint bark, you can, but traditionally that's not how peppermint bark goes. But, you know, it's your peppermint bark. You can do whatever you want. So, here we go. See? Nice and melted. Okay, so I'm going to add another ½ teaspoon of peppermint extract to this. Just a touch. Because you just want the essence of peppermint. You don't want, like, toothpaste. No one wants to eat toothpaste, even people that like mint. I don't think I'd ever eat toothpaste. So, yeah, let's get it well incorporated here. All right, now I'm gonna go get the chocolate layer. Okay, so here we go, chocolate layer. And then we're gonna pour this on top. Now theoretically this should be even because we did the same amount of white chocolate chips to semi-sweet chocolate chips. And again, you can mix the chocolates as you wish. Like if you want dark chocolate, you can do one with a more cacao, the chocolate chips, or you know, you could do milk chocolate, whatever you're fancy. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna spread this out nicely so that we cover the chocolate layer. And be gentle because you don't want to mix, like I said, the chocolate layer. Keep it even as possible. So I'm guiding my chocolate in the pan. So I move with it. Movement is key. Okay. So I want to get it all the way to the edge. Okay. Oops, and I did get up. Okay. Okay, so okay, there's a little bit more in here. Let's kind of okay, good. All right, perfect. So now, here's what we're left with. And now, while it's still, you know, warm and melty, we want our peppermint to stick, so we're just going to liberally sprinkle with our crushed peppermint. Make it rain peppermint. And again, you can put as much or as little as you like on that. I say peppermint bark, go big or go home, right? It's festive and fun. And again, this is a nice, easy one you can make with the kids. You can put it out, you know, great for a church potluck or something, or a cookie exchange or anything like that. All right, so a little bit more. A little bit more going for our other stash here. A crushed peppermint. There we go. Very pretty. Very nice. Okay. So guys, there you have it. This is going to go back in the fridge to set. But this is our peppermint bark. So yeah, fun and easy and delicious. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to break it up on the stream because it's a little messy to do that. But we'll see. But yeah, you just break it into pieces. You can cut it if you want to into uniform pieces. I just like to break it and have it go into various shapes and sizes. And I bag it up and give it away as gifts. And I'll put it in the cookie boxes. So there you go. All right, so we'll be moving on to our next cookie very soon. See you soon. Hi everyone. Well, I have cut up our rainbow cookies, and look, see, you are all worried. Well, Richard was, because he thought it looked all uneven and stuff, and look at these. Aren't they beautiful? And yeah, they make such a pretty presentation, and they're delicious, and they're gonna be just yummy in the cookie boxes. I can't wait to have everyone try them and see what they think. So yeah, Italian rainbow cookie. Thanks guys. I'll be back with another cookie soon. Hi again guys. So now we have cut up our beautiful Christmas nougat. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Look at this. It's marshmallows and white chocolate chips and a little butter and our dots. And there you go. I used my handy dandy pizza cutter to cut through it because it can be a little bit of a chore. But yeah, we're gonna get these packed up also and ready to go in the cookie boxes. So on to the next cookie. Hi again everyone. So now this is our M&M's Christmas fantasy bars. You can see all the marshmallows and fudgy and the M&Ms on top, and they look so good. That's what they look like when you cut them up. They make a really great presentation, but you can switch out the colors of M&Ms for different holidays, or just if you want to make them for an everyday occasion, you can use just regular M&Ms on top. Just make sure you press them down firmly so that they don't fall off of the bars. But yeah, there you go. We're gonna pack these up and get on to the next cookie. See you soon. Hi again, everybody. So now we have our peppermint bark. We broke it into squares. Excuse me, my shirt is a little wet because I got some chocolate on it. So I had to wash it up. I had taken my apron off after I was done baking and didn't think, well, I should probably keep it on while I'm like breaking these up and packaging them, but I'll probably get another apron. But here's the peppermint bark. Doesn't that look beautiful? And Richard and I tried a little piece and it's delicious. So I hope our cookie box recipients enjoy this. And we're gonna package it up and get it in our boxes. So on to the next cookie. Hey again, everyone. So now we're back at the stove and we are making peanut butter fudge. And this is gonna be really yummy. It's supposed to be super easy. I've not tried this particular recipe before, but it looks really good and had good reviews. So fingers crossed it turns out well and that everyone likes it. I always have Richard or Sam taste test my cookies and stuff. They get one cookie so that I make sure they're good because I'm not sending out junk to people. But we're gonna make sure this is really good. If it's not good, I'm deleting this video. So if you see this, you know it was a hit. So here we go. We have 1 cup of butter. And I'm doubling the recipe because Richard's favorite is peanut butter fudge. So I had to make sure we have some left over for him. So this is gonna fill a 13 by 9 inch baking dish. We have 1 cup of butter, 2 cups of brown sugar, a cup of milk, 1.5 cups of peanut butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 7 cups of confectioner's sugar. So here we go. I've got all my ingredients all pre-measured and stuff except the peanut butter. We're gonna melt the butter in a saucepan over medium heat and stir in the brown sugar and milk and then bring to a boil for 2 minutes, stirring frequently. So we will do that. Let's see. I'll get my iPad. Let's see, I'll put my iPad over here so I can see what I'm doing. We're gonna put all the butter in here. I'm gonna put it over medium heat. Oops. Medium heat. Okay. I'm sorry again for the bad camera angle. I can only do so much on my own in this kitchen, and I couldn't find a good tripod, so we're working with what we've got. Okay, so here we go. Butter. I think it's the brown sugar, right? In a medium saucepan. We're melting the butter, and then we're going to add in the brown sugar. And once we do that, I'll get a whisk to do this. There we go. And a nice silicone whisk so we don't mess with the enamel on the bottom of the pot. So we're just letting this melt. I can show you. It's starting to melt. Once it melts, we'll add in the brown sugar and stir for 2 minutes. After it starts to boil. Let's see. All right. This is pretty easy, I must say. Oh, you can see me from there. Hello. Yep. So here we go. Melting that butter I was just reading the steps because, like I said, I've not used this recipe before. So we'll see how it goes. It's starting to melt. Not a lot of butter to melt, so I'll just let it go for a little bit and wait and see. The hardest part, I think, of this is letting the butter melt and then bringing the brown sugar and butter to a boil and constantly stirring it for 2 minutes. But I'm stirring this butter to melt it anyway, so it's not really that big of a thing. But after that, we remove it from the heat, and then we incorporate the butter and I believe the milk. When do we put the milk in? Let's see. Peanut butter and vanilla. Well, where do you put the milk? It doesn't say. Where does the milk go? Milk, butter, in a saucepan. Oh, we stir in the milk with the brown sugar. I'm glad I checked that out. I'm like, wait a minute, we have milk. Where does it go? It's gonna go in with the brown sugar after the butter's melted, which will be any moment now. As you can see, I'll let you see how we're progressing here. See, we're getting there, but we still have some chunks of butter lingering. You don't want anyone biting into butter. It'd be butter fudge. Okay. There we go. There we go. Nice and easy. And we're almost there. So close, so close. Okay, now we are melted. You can see it. Oop. All right, so now I'm going to stir in the brown sugar and the milk. Here's my 2 cups I packed it before I put it in the bowl. And the milk. There we go. Now we're going to whisk this in and bring it to a boil. And then once it boils, do we reduce the heat? Let's see. No, bring to a boil and boil for 2 minutes, stirring frequently. So we will do that. So now we just stir and mix and wait. Waiting is the hardest part, right? And this is good too, because this will dissolve the brown sugar. This is very sugar laden, I will say. 2 cups of brown sugar, 7 cups of confectioner sugar. Yikes. But it's the holidays, so I mean, if you have 1 piece, it's not that bad. But I would never eat, more than that. That's a lot of sugar. Okay, so it's incorporating nicely. I'll show you. That's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a nice light golden brown at this point. And I'm gonna let it stop for a minute and see if we're boiling. I see bubbles, and I don't know if they're air bubbles from me, stirring it and bringing up the air, or if it's boiling. It's not boiling yet. I could also use one of my instant read thermometer, which would tell me, and of course 212 degrees is boiling. All right. Definitely getting there. I can tell it wants to. Okay, if I leave it for a minute. It smells good. It doesn't smell peanut buttery yet. It smells like brown sugar, which isn't a bad thing. And it's thickening up too, which is interesting. I didn't expect it to thicken up. Okay. It looks like it wants to boil now. Let's see. I hear it. It's like simmering. It's so getting ready. All right, so after we do this for 2 minutes, and then what do? After this, we're going to remove the pot from the heat and stir in the peanut butter and the vanilla. Okay. We are near boil here. So I hope all of you are having a great holiday season. And, you know, in the comments, let me know if you've tried any of these cookies yourself and candies, or if you plan on making them, or there's a lot here, or let me know what your favorite Christmas or holiday cookie and candy are. I'd love to hear that. All right. Are we boiling? Not quite. Oh, and someone with loud music is driving by. That's always fun. Oh, there it goes, it's boiling. All right, so I'm gonna set the timer now for 2 minutes. All right, here we go, guys. You don't want the sugar to burn, so you gotta keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. Keep it moving. I don't know why I sang that. This almost looks kind of like a toffee to me, or caramel. But yeah, you definitely don't want anything burning. So you gotta keep it stirring, keep stirring, don't give up, hang in there. We're almost halfway there for the stirring. We've got this. You're getting your upper body strength here, building up those shoulders and arm muscles. All right. Less than a minute to go, you guys. Less than a minute. Then we're going to remove it from the heat, and I'm going to pause this and move us over there where I don't have to lean like this for you to see me. "30 seconds. We've got this." All right, here we go. We'll count it down. When we get to 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay, we're done. We're moving this off the heat right away. And I'm going to stop the video and move us over there. Okay guys, so I've removed the mixture from the heat. And now we're going to add our peanut butter and our vanilla. So I'm going to use my spurtle for this. And I left my spurtle over there. So let's go grab that. Okay, here we go. We're going to add in our peanut butter. I may need more peanut butter, so we'll see. I'm going to do this at the cup. There we And you want creamy peanut butter for this, just so you know. I think that's gonna do it right there. Okay, so we didn't need to go into our peanut butter stash. We emptied this jar, so that jar is gone. Now we're gonna add in some vanilla. You guys know me with vanilla. I guesstimate and say, oh, that looks good. Okay, so now here we go. We're gonna stir this in, and I'd show you, but I don't wanna, I can try to lift the camera and show you, I don't know. But I'll hold it up after I incorporate it. I'm just afraid that I'm gonna mess something up here. Let's see. There we go. And we want the peanut butter to melt into the mixture, basically, is what we're doing. That's why I'm continuing to stir and stir and stir and continuing to stir. Okay. Now I'll just kind of scrape my spurtle so I get all the peanut butter off of it. All right. And it looks really good, I will say. But I'm still mixing because just like when our butter was melting, we need to get this melted and incorporated with the brown sugar and butter and all of that. So we will keep on going. And it's looking like peanut butter soup. Here, I'll show you, see? Very thin at the moment. But next, we need to place the confectioner's sugar in a large mixing bowl and pour in the peanut butter mixture and beat with the electric mixer until smooth. Okay, so I didn't plan for that. I thought we were doing it in the pan. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna try it. I can always get my hand mixer out if I need to. Let's see. I'm gonna mix and mix and mix. And we want it smoothly fed. Okay. Now it's gonna keep stirring. I think I will get my hand mixer out. Just cause, all right, so hold on, I'll be right back and get my hand mixer. And I'm thinking this is just to make it smooth. I'll get my beaters out. There we go. Okay. This one goes here. This one goes here. There we go. And it says to mix it until it's smooth. Wait. Yeah, that's the right way. It's giving me issues. There we go. Okay. I'm just gonna do it on low speed. Pick it up a little bit. It says to mix until it's smooth. So let's see what we're looking at. I'll show you. Oops. There we go. Okay. Oops. Nah. Okay. So we're just going to keep mixing until I don't see any lumps anymore. Of the brown powdered sugar. Now, what I would have said if it was my recipe is to sift the powdered sugar beforehand because you wouldn't have had the lumps. Get it going here. But it's all good. Everyone's recipes are different. But yeah, if I made this again going forward, I would definitely sift the powdered sugar beforehand. I assumed, I don't know why, never assume anything, but I assumed that the heat from the, you know, fudge and butter mixture and all that would like kind of melt the sugar. I was wrong. It's looking good. It's looking really, really good. And luckily I have my Le Creuset. It's very sturdy. It's a great pot. I would have poured it into a bowl like it said, but I've run out of bowls because I've been making all these things. So my bowls are occupada. Alright. It's getting there. It's going to take a minute or so. But it's looking a lot better now. And it's a lot thicker. You know how I showed you and it was kind of very liquidy? This did thicken it up very nicely. Okay. And honestly, I don't think it's going to get any smoother than it already is. If I see any large pieces of confectioner sugar that didn't, you know, melt or dissolve or break up, I will just pick them out. Okay. So now we go and we're going to get our baking dish. And here it is. And because there's so much butter in this recipe, you do not need to butter this dish. Not at all. I've got enough butter in here. So here we go. I'm going to also show you. Here's my swirl. What the mixture looks like now. So you saw the thickness. Now it's fudge. So we just put it in this pan. Oh boy. Heavy. There we go. Ooh. Get all of it out. I love my spurtle. It's a spurtle myrtle. Okay. That's as much as we can get out. We did a pretty good job there. Rinse my hands. All right. And we are going to spread this out evenly as we do. It looks very veggie and very yummy. I I think it's gonna be good. So, Richard's not here to tell you, so I will do this because I'm done. Am I done? No, I'll spread it more. Okay. I'm just gonna get some from the edge. I like clean edges. Okay. So Richard's not here to tell you, so I'm going to do something I don't usually do. Oh man. Oh, it's so good. I think Richard's gonna love it. And I think my cookie box recipients will love it too. Hopefully they love peanut butter. I haven't heard of any aversions, but there we go. So I'm gonna cover this, put it in the fridge, and then we'll slice it into, you know, bite-sized pieces later. So that's the peanut butter fudge, guys. All right, guys, so this is the last thing, and it's our peanut butter fudge. Now, I will say this is a little bit softer than Richard and I are used to. I'm gonna just put it in the freezer and see if that sets it up a little bit more. But Richard, what did you think of the fudge? Did it taste good?
Very good.
Okay, so the flavor's there. Maybe it needs to set up just a little bit more. I maybe cut it a little too soon. But I'm gonna, it looks great, doesn't it? It cut okay. It was just, it's very soft. So we're gonna put it in the freezer for like an hour or so and see how that works. And then we'll check on it. But yeah, peanut butter fudge going into the cookie boxes. So I think this is our last item, so yay. All right, guys, thanks. I think this may be the last recipe. If it is, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's a little bit chaotic. It's kind of like my cookie baking marathon. This is what the cookie boxes are always like. But I wanted you, you know, to see what it's like to make these cookie boxes. It's a lot of work. I know a lot of people donate, you know, Zoom calls and things like that, and items that they, you know, have from their collections, and that's great. I think that's amazing. But I just wanted you to know, you know, the work. Not that I'm shooting my own horn, but it's not like I go to Publix, get cookies, throw them in a box, and ship them. No, this is a whole weekend I dedicate to this. I pay for the supplies, I pay for the containers, I pay for the shipping. This is what I do for Give Kids the World because it means so much to me to help. And this is my way of helping. And I hope you enjoyed it. So try the recipes. I'm gonna put all the recipe links except the egg biscuits because that's handwritten out, so I have to type that out for you. But the egg biscuit recipe will be typed out. Everything else will have a recipe link in the video description. So make sure you check them out if you want to try to make them yourselves. Also, make sure you follow me on social media. All my links, if there's enough space with the recipes and everything, because you only get 5,000 characters to put your description. Anyways, if I have room, I will put the links to my social medias, my Instagram, my Facebook, and all of that stuff, our Facebook group, all of that. And if you like the video and you haven't already, please give it a thumbs up. I really enjoy doing this, and I never really shared, you know, how the cookie boxes come together and what goes in them and all of that. So now you know for next year for Magical Night of Hope. So yeah. Anyhow, I hope you all take good care of yourselves. This will probably go up after Christmas, but if it, you know, if for some reason it goes up before Christmas, I'd just like to say very Merry Christmas to all of you. A happy holiday season, happy Hanukkah if you're celebrating Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa. Whatever you may celebrate at this time of the year, I hope you're having a wonderful time with your loved ones and that you're staying healthy and safe and happy. And just know that I'm thinking of you and I love you guys, and your support always means so much to me. And again, a huge thank you to all the people who bid on the cookie boxes, and the winners. Congratulations, your cookies are going out tomorrow, December 23rd. You'll probably have them, I hope, in time for New Year's. It's really hard now with Magical Night of Hope the second week of December because it comes so close to Christmas. So I made the time. I made the time and I cleared my schedule to do this. And I hope you guys enjoy your cookies and your candies. And I just want you to know you did so much for the village, and it just is amazing what you do. And your support for me and for Give Kids the World is just, it does not go unnoticed, and it fills my heart so much. So now that I've rambled on for like what seems an eternity, I'm gonna go take a break and get some iced tea and take a load off my feet, and then I'll assemble cookie boxes. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you again for watching. I love you guys. Bye.